And we're going to jump right in. So, really, what we're talking about is mastering time management. This is something that everybody has, can relate to. We all can, and this is something that is really so, so important in everything that we're doing. So, I'm going to share my screen here. Hopefully, you can see it. We're going to talk about mastering time management and just kind of go through it. So, what is, time management? It's basically being efficient and really making sure that you're using your time effectively, proficiently, and getting a lot done. When we look at this, I'm gonna, say, who am I? So I'm the author of Momentum, and What's the Score? My second book is just coming out, next month. So really excited about that. It's called What the Score Is. I'm a blue collar leader, and I really help business owners and leaders to do two things. One, monetize their experience, or two, improve cash people and their processes. So if I flip that over, a lot of times I'll work with an organization or a person or a business owner that when they improve their cash people and processes, they're able then to monetize their experience and actually become a, high paid coach or an advisor. So a lot of fun. I really love doing it. And if anytime anything connects with you and you want to talk more, in the corner, I have like a little QR code. You can hover your phone over it or take a screenshot of it, and we can chat sometime about your specific business. Always fun. If I can give you any insight or help with anything, I'd be happy to. And I'm going to jump right into it, because when we talk about time management, I'll even, we can even look at it as a selfish play, however you want to slice it up. We all have things to do. I know your time's really valuable, so I want to thank you for being a part and stopping in. But when we say, okay, time management, if I come in and just make this an hour long, are you really going to get any benefit from it? Or do I challenge myself to simplify it and get it done in 15, 20 minutes, no more than a half hour, and make sure that we give you some real nuggets that you can do? And if you are planning to do something for 45 minutes or an hour, now I just gave you back a half hour or 45 minutes. So that's kind of how I think. So what's the actual problem? The problem is we don't always manage our time the most effectively. We firefight, we're scattered, we want to do things, and we don't. We want to be efficient. So, what do we want instead? We want things to run smoothly. We want to have extra time. We don't want to be racing from thing to thing to thing, right? That's something that we're trying to get away from. We feel like we're running around with the old saying, like a chicken with our head cut off. How much is this actually costing us? It's costing us a lot of money when we think about it, not just from, a personal thing. It can be from the, finances, not making good decisions, getting frustrated. There's a lot of things that poor time management is doing that. If you would think about it, you don't necessarily think you're that bad at time management, but you probably want it to be better. Or maybe you say, like, my life is just kind of out of control and people are dictating, everything that we do. I can think of I give real live examples, all the time. I learn something every day, but, I was working with somebody looking to hire, some help. So an assistant. And one of the things that we did was we set up a time window when we wanted to do it. And we reached out to the people and said, this is when we can do it. We had the people work on our schedule, and we were able to find a successful person for the role that we wanted to fill. So the idea is, if you can do that, obviously there's give and take, but the more that you take control of your schedule, the better it will be. How effective time management can lead to increased profitability. So when we look at it, it increases the productivity. We want to be productive. You reduce costs. You have effective client and customer relationships. Innovation, growth, improved decision making, not being stressed. It lowers your stress. There's less fires you feel like you're having to put out all the time. It's really helpful. I'm going to give you a couple keys. And again, I'm just going to get right into the meat and potatoes. And hopefully you can resonate with my style and how I do things. I want to give you meat and potatoes, something that you can take away immediately and use, get a thought behind it. And that's exactly how I do this. So I'm going to put them on the screen next, and you're going to see these are my tips to keep it simple and time management. I'm going to go down through these 4 things, and I believe if you do these, you will drastically improve your time management skills. So 1, I want you to plan. I would like you to plan 3 things. I would love for you to plan out at a minimum the next day. So at between 2 and 4 o'clock, I always say is the ideal to say, pick your 3 most important tasks that you really need to get done the next day. 2 to 3, 3 is kind of the target, because typically you can get those done every day. If you did that for the week, you will be amazed how much work you get done. You can list down all the things that you need to do. It will allow you to cross them off, and you'll be amazed how effective you can become. So planning is really, really important. If you can plan, that's going to be great. You also can see how much you're getting done and what things are not getting done. When I started doing this, I realized that I was not getting a certain task done. For me, this was years ago. It was actually doing some sales activity. It was doing some reach out. I kept seeing that I wrote it on. I knew it was important, but I wasn't getting it done. So planning your time management and allocating for those things is really important. The second thing that I want you to think about is rethink. So ways to do things, do the same thing quicker. An example that I gave and that I saw is the hiring process. With the ability of like global talent, how do we hire people in the past? And we got a resume, reviewed it, did a phone screen, maybe did it in person, then a follow-up. Today, I had a session earlier today where I helped an organization hire an awesome team member. We had, 4 to 6 candidates come to the table. We did them within 20 minutes. And by the end, we had a hire. Now, over 2 hours or less, we actually went through the whole thing, and it was very effective, simple, and we got it done. And we had a high quality person. I mean, so high quality that I told the individual, I said, if you don't hire this person, I will. So I think if we rethink the way that we do things, we can actually do them quicker. And that is a great way to save time. So I would really encourage you to rethink current ways that you're doing things and look at what you're doing. The next thing I call batching. I would like you to, we all have busy work, whether it's emails or getting back to people. It's kind of what I call this the to-do list. So the to-do list gets and turns into the to-done list if you batch processes. So let's say in the morning you take an hour or an hour and a half. Usually this doesn't take any more than 2 hours. And a lot of times it can be done within an hour, hour and a half if you're being effective. And you get all the busy work done, the to-dos, you just hammer them out, just get them done. It's amazing what you can do when you do this. The last thing that I would say is to delegate. So I would like you to think about a couple tasks that you do not like to do, or you might not be good at, or you haven't got to, and really figure out a way to delegate that. I would get rid of maybe 3 tasks. And I would constantly evaluate what you need to do to get rid of these things. So, what don't you like to do? What's getting hung up? If you're planning and you're seeing what you need to do and then what doesn't get done, it's a great thing to delegate. Some of the things that stay on that list for a long time or drain your energy. I've seen it where I had a client I was helping doing some reach out and developing their business. They wanted to email their people in their network. They might have had 500 people of emails in their email list, and I asked them how many they sent in a day, and I think they said like 5. I'm like, well, what did you do all day? They're like, well, I was thinking through what I should say and how I know this person. I actually gave that to a virtual assistant, and they sent out the whole 500 in a day. Actually, I think it was like an hour and a half to do everything. So delegate things that are draining your energy, and then that day just consumed a bunch of time. This is time management. So again, I'm trying to save you time by presenting things very clearly and directly. It's not a lot of build up. I said a couple things, I went right to it, and that's the style. So if you like that, again, scan the code here and say, you may have something that you want to actually implement and take it further. I'd love to talk to you and kind of help you develop a clear plan on that. Because when you have more time, it reduces stress. You can make more money. You can do different things that will improve quality of life. So plan, I'm just going to read the four. Plan, 3 keys for every day. I would recommend doing it between 2 and 4. Around that time, you're going to know what you need to do for the next day. Rethink. Rethink ways to do the same things quicker. Batch the work. Batch the work, and it will turn into a to-done list, right? Instead of a to-do list. And then delegate. Get rid of those tasks that are not good for you. Just a great reminder. And this is about, if you want the most successful businesses, keep it simple. If you can keep it simple, you're going to crush it. So keep it simple. Use these, leverage them. If you want to talk more about it, let me know. So that's it. I told you I'm going to be short and sweet. I'm just going to give you some nuggets here. I would love if you have any questions or comments. You can unmute yourself if you have something about this, and we'll just do a little Q&A, and then that will be it. Again, if there's something that you want to talk about or talk about your individual business, be happy to do it. Give you some clarity on what that might look like. A lot of the things that you want to do as far as time management can happen so quickly. I love when somebody just feels like they're overwhelmed or they don't have the time or they're maxed out, because that means they're going to experience a rapid shift as soon as we get started. So we'd love to just chat with you. Scan the code if you're interested, or just reach out. So if you have a question, you could put in the chat. I'll be happy to answer it. Just leave a couple minutes here for